So we were talking about it a little last night, and I'm like, all right, hold on. We can't talk about it too much off air. So we decided we were going to do one episode at a time, and it got delayed with a bunch of stuff. So we decided to backtrack and just do the entire season all in one sitting, one review, and do that. All right. Have a good night, Martin.
See you, Martin. Only got like 5
Later.
minutes on my internet. We'll see. I put another quarter in.
Like go run and pay the meter.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if Martin left because he's got to go do something or he's not interested in Cobra Kai. If you're not watching Cobra Kai, dude,
You're wrong.
You gotta watch it.
You're making bad decisions with your life.
Yeah. 4 seasons all out on Netflix. They're so good, but this season kind of started off kind of good. Shut up. Good show. Like and subscribe. we appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, man. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's been a little while since I watched season 4.
Episode 1? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how episode 1 went down. Or
that's when
even how it started.
The dojos. So that's when they both first starting combining this stuff. 2 different styles, and that's and I think Cobra Kai knows that they're doing it, and that's when Kreese tries to go recruit somebody.
Yeah. Well, we can say I think we're spoilers. And that's they teased that. Netflix teased that a long time ago with Terry Silver.
Terry was badass.
Yeah. I wrote a few things down. I'm like, wait, what did I read? Yeah, like I liked that they explained that Terry was like bonkers in the original, or not original, was it Karate Kid 2 from the 80s? Even like he goes, oh, I was so high on cocaine and everything else. It's like I'm like, I appreciate that. Whereas like it says like, hey, I was over the top because it was 80s. So everything had to be over the top in the 80s. But it gives the character a thing, like, hey, yeah, I was rich and I had drugs. So yeah.
And I just came from Nam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a big part of it too. I mean, and I think it really, you understand Kreese and Silver's relationship a lot better because of the backstory that they went into and understanding Kreese's control over Silver.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that he had that mind control over him. I was like, if I was him, I was like, he said, I'm number one. I'm the captain. I would have been like, man, whatever. I'll flick him off and walk off. But no, he has his mind control over him, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that kind of like really sets how evil Kreese is, like he can find somebody like him who has no reason to associate with Kreese anymore, but pulls him back in, like
he
got that evil speech.
He had that. It's amazing. He knows how they think mentally, and he picks them apart, and it's amazing. I think the season 4 is really about relationships. That's all we did was develop relationships differently. No matter if it's Johnny and Miguel's, or Johnny with Robbie, or Johnny with Daniel with Samantha, Sam. You know what I mean? Just it's all those relationships being more developed, better developed. You understand best friends and why they're their best friends, and how they become from there to now becoming more adult relationships. I mean, even with Tori and Robbie. I mean, this every episode was a relationship that focused on a relationship and how it developed and how it becomes important for their life as they get older. And I
Yeah.
think that was what I really appreciated about this entire thing. This entire season was so good in explaining those things from a place that everyone's been, high school, and understanding it from that point of view.
Mhm. I really didn't think about that, but it's very true. Like once you said that, I was like, it's nothing but relationships, and not always good ones either. Because like Sam and Tori, like they got more into relationship, but it was definitely more of a hateful relationship, you know. But yeah, I didn't really think about it, but it was always it was like how people interacted with somebody else that made them better or worse, you know. Like Eli, his relationship with his buddy, um, what was it? What's his buddy's name? Why am I having
Dmitri.
a brain fart? Dimitri.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like their relationship kind of
And
somewhat
understanding
got
it.
fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
even what's the kid's name?
the new kid,
Yeah, the new kid.
Kenny.
Kenny. So even the whole thing with Kenny and opening Robbie's eyes to what's going on and actually caring about someone and what happens when they totally don't care about anyone else and they only care about themselves and that he did that and it was
Yeah.
and how it hurt him to the core. And now he understands his dad a little bit more about why it hurts him to the core, what he actually did to his dad, you know.
Hmm.
Johnny having losing that Robbie and how he gravitated to Miguel because of that. But then how his relationship with Miguel not being Robbie, how that affects Miguel. Like it was just
Yeah.
one thing after another. And that relationship is still the same relationship between Kreese and Johnny. And
Yeah.
Kreese loves Johnny. No matter what, no matter what's going on, there's not gonna be a line that you're not gonna cross this line with him. You can beat up everybody else, but you mess up with Johnny too much, I'm going to kill you. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. That was like one thing I really liked is the final tournament, the was it the last two episodes I think were the final tournament.
Yep.
That was an awesome tournament. But there's a part where Johnny and Kreese meet at one point towards the end, and he has a conversation. He goes, "I'm not gonna let you ruin Robbie like you ruined me." And he's like, I like, that's when you see the real like vulnerable part of
almost
Kreese.
father son of relationship between them with Kreese.
Yeah,
He's like, no, I didn't care about you winning because of anything, because of me. I did it because of you, and you needed it because I knew it'll be a downward spiral. Well,
yeah,
he was exactly 100% right. That's exactly what happened.
yeah, yeah. But it at that yeah, that whole thing was like super crazy, and I didn't even think about that. Like I never thought about their relationship. Like about that, and then when Silver kind of ambushed
Johnny.
Johnny, and Kreese was like, "Hey," I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Like I
Said,
mean,
I said
the
no.
man has a heart, yeah. So like yeah, it was just it's still very my girlfriend calls it a CW show.
It is
It's still
CW. It is.
yeah, it
It
is
is.
100%. This season is probably starting to get away from that a little bit.
Transitioning episode. This because when you become, I think when you go from being a freshman and sophomore to being a junior and a senior, where you're about to leave and go to college, the maturity level does change. Your
Mhm.
relationships change. Even your relationships with your parents start to change because you're their child, but you're no longer just a kid. You're
Yeah.
someone who's about to be an adult. And I think that's where we're going for season 5 will be them going from being a child to an adult, and that's gonna be
Mhm.
huge,
Yeah.
along with Chosen being nuts.
Oh God. So big spoiler at the very end. Um, it pretty much Well, here we'll save the end to a little bit later because there are a little other parts I wanted to get into in the middle part. That I Robbie. This was a season I think I liked Robbie the most. Every other season, Robbie, I'm like, oh, you're a whiny brat. That's kind of like Sam. Like Sam's a whiny brat that has everything, but you're a whiny brat that like that always has to like I don't say complain, but always like, oh, I had to fight for my this and that. I had to fight for this. I get that, but it was also like you have people helping you, and you're still like, no. And it was very CW-esque, like stuff like that.
Push it away, push this stuff away. Oh, I don't want it.
Yeah. And this season, I thought I liked him the most out of all the other seasons because it was like he was starting to become his own person. He's like, I'm not my dad's, fighter. I'm not, Daniel's, student. Like I don't want to be a pawn in your game.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the best of all the worlds and try to make my own thing.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because like the whole beginning part of the season was them two, Daniel and Johnny, trying to train their students, and they couldn't figure it out. Meanwhile, little do they know, like Robbie they have their perfect,
perfect everything is right there, right in front of their face with Robbie over there showing Cobra Kai, which is the dopest name ever, still, how to do all the things, how to be everything. And that's why they win, because he teaches them everything about each one until they realize they have to combine to become what they really need.
Yeah, but they never really combined.
I think that's going to happen next season. That they realize that they really need it, because I think Chosen's I'm not gonna go there anymore. But it's what you say you like Robbie a lot this season. I feel like I hated Sam almost every episode.
Yeah.
The only time I liked her is when she was getting trained by Johnny. But Sam was just she's the other side of the court, just a pain. Like, what are you complaining about? You got everything you ever wanted. You're driving a nice car. You got all the money. You got all the popularity. You got the guy that everyone wanted. You just shut the hell up. Yeah. Why are you complaining? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's just being bratty.
It just made you like Tori that much more, because Sam was just such an asshole. Like, oh God, stop complaining.
Yeah, I think we talked about it offline, but they brought back we looked up her name too. They brought back her Sam's best friend from season 1. What was her name?
I remember her name is right now.
I remember her name, but they brought her back just for like a quick scene. I was happy about that. I'm like, cool. At least they kind of like put a little bow tie on that character, and stuff like that. But she had told her, she's like, oh, Cobra Kai taught me to strike first, and there was this girl who's gonna be my bully, so I stroked I striked first, but I did it with kindness. Like I went to her and I said, hey, let's be friends, let's be cool with each other. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, is Sam and Tori gonna be like this new like BFF kind of thing? And then Sam went the complete opposite. I was like, did you just not listen to your friend? Like, she's like, oh, be nice. You never know what's gonna happen.
Like, first in the face. Like, really?
Yeah, right in the dick. Like, and then kick them while they're down. It was just like, what the hell? So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Aisha.
Yeah. I was right there with you, man.
Sam was a pain, but I really started to enjoy, other people, all the people that have been around since the beginning. You didn't know anything about them. Like Hulk. You really didn't know the relationship with Hulk, and we said Dimitri. You didn't really know that, but showing that we've been best friends forever. I will love you no matter what. Cobra Kai, Eagle Claw, or whatever. Miyagi, though, it didn't matter what it was. I'm in your corner no matter what. And I thought that
Mhm.
was awesome. That's what a true friend is. No matter what, like, hey, we could be on opposite sides, but I'm gonna root for you. At the end of the day, it's me and you gonna be me and you.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what we're doing. And I think that was a great lesson and a great relationship, and I enjoyed those guys more. And that's why it was great that Hawk was getting more recognition.
Yeah. Yeah. That final tournament though, when so I was watching it and my girlfriend was reading, but she was watching it too because she was kept commenting. I'm like, I know you're watching it. But the part where they're fighting and his like top Robbie's top is starting to get untucked and stuff. She's like, oh, their shirts are gonna come off. I'm like, of course. He has a giant hawk on on his
Back.
chest or on his back.
On his back. He's at the giant Hawk.
So I'm like, yeah, he's gonna take off his shirt. The difference between Robbie and Hawk, I was like, Robbie in real life will kill
Him.
kill him. That man had actual muscles. Like he
We're
was
doing this
pretty
for point.
jacked.
We're doing this
Yeah.
for point. So I guess but if it was for real, he would have been like this. I would grab him and I'm gonna beat him over the head with I'm gonna beat you with you. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, Hawk was just skinny. I'm like, do you have any muscles on those bones? Because, dude,
I don't know if you
you
guys
know,
had a tattoo before, but to be that bony and to have no meat and getting a tattoo on that, hey, that's some mental
I'm,
stuff. That's mental strength. Because I'll be like,
you said,
ah, stop.
on the chest or on the back. I always forget.
On his back.
On his back. Oh yeah. Well, either way, you have your spine, and even if it was on the chest, you have your sternum in the middle. Where those are painful spots.
I just can't even imagine. Like, oh, get that. I mean, I don't like this little one on my arm. It was like,
Uh,
why are you going over? Why are you shading that same spot? Now shading on the back? Oh no, I don't get to see it either. No, I'm done.
yeah.
Right. Oh, we're done. Well, I'm only halfway done. No, we're done. That's it.
He's got like an eagle with one or a hawk with one wing. Like
It's funny you say that because that's every time I see that, I think about eagerly. So it's just,
eagerly. That's funny. That's funny.
but
It's all connected.
do you when Daniel's family came over, and wanted to talk to about him and his son, uh, and they kind of said, by Anthony, and said that maybe it's you guys, your parenting, that's causing all these problems, and not necessarily everything else. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty cool too. That like shine the light on you guys are not perfect. Just because you guys got money and have a good business doesn't mean you're perfect either, and you're causing a lot of these problems too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I also enjoyed it because like she was very Jersey Shore. I forgot what her name was. Was it Valerie or something? I don't remember. But she was very Jersey Shore, and then both the Daniel and his wife were like, "Oh yeah, she's a doctor," and then sure enough, she was like hitting some really good points, So yeah, that was a good scene where it's like, yeah, maybe your kids are a little messed up because you're not good parents. I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay,
that hurt a little bit.
yeah, but and even so their other kid, so you got Sam, but their other kid, Anthony, um, actually has a part in the series now because the first 3 seasons he was just
a
the
guy.
little kid that played video games. That was it. So he winds up being a bully, which makes sense for the show because it's got to be opposite of what Daniel. But he's really not like it
He's
seems like he really
bullied
doesn't want
to be cool because he was
Yeah.
getting bullied, and to keep the light off of him, he bullied somebody else, and it's easier to do the new kid.
Mhm.
And then,
Yeah.
but the new kid, the thing he doesn't understand is that the new kid is an athlete. He's cooler. The girl that Anthony likes him. It's just Kenny has all those other things. Even though he's bullying and doing all these things to Kenny, it's just going to come back and bite him in the I won't say
Yeah.
balls, but yeah, in the balls. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Kenny's arc is was amazing. Like, granted, he went the wrong way and went bad, but
But
man, he went from
no,
being like a scaredy cowder. He's scary. At the end, that last episode, when he's like in Anthony's face,
yep.
he that little boy, he's like, I'm gonna be evil, and he looked scary. He had
Went
those
to high
crazy
school.
eyes.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh shit, like that. The kid who played Kenny nailed it.
But
Nailed
legit,
it.
think about it. So this kid is like amazing basketball player. He's gonna be an amazing karate guy. He's probably amazing. He's probably quarterback. He's probably point guard. He's going to terrorize Anthony for the rest of his life. You had a bad few weeks. He's going to terrorize everything for
Yeah.
for 12 weeks of terror. You're gonna have 12 years of pain. Just
I hope not, just for Kenny's sake.
you
But
hope that Robbie
I
reach him.
I think so. I hope so. Maybe. I mean,
I don't know. I think Kenny's gonna become the big bad because Robbie's gonna go
he-
back to his dad and or Daniel and kind of bridge them, bring them together. And I think Kenny's gonna be the star student. You know, I mean, you got
yeah,
Tori there, but Tori's getting older. But Kenny can be everything. He's fast. He's athletic. He can do so much. He made it really, really far on the in the tournament this year. After
it
only
was
a
like
couple of months.
6 weeks of training. Yeah,
Like, oh my goodness, he's going to be a monster.
yeah, yeah. That was like, technically, you're like the second best male in that gym. Next
Already.
to Robbie, who was just a beast. So yeah, that was like, he's gonna be really good. But I hope Robbie can fix him. But also, Robbie is gonna have his own issues
Yep.
because him and his dad are just kind of starting to connect.
And then his
But
dad,
now his dad's like, peace, I gotta go to Mexico. So that's gonna cause more problems.
but Robbie's not in school. So does that mean Robbie goes with him?
Ooh, maybe. I think about that. Or is Robbie gonna go back to school? Because wasn't he got kicked out of the high school for the whole high school fight
Yeah, I thought it was for everything though, but I thought he was never going to be able to get back. I mean, and maybe Daniel's going to be able to get him back in because he has all the
connections?
connections. Yeah, he's missing everything out there, but I don't know. It's possible that
Yeah.
he goes. I mean, this is the end of the school year anyway. The All Valley tournament. It's the end of the school year. Maybe he goes
Mhm.
3 months and spends that time with his dad. Robbie and
Yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
reconnect, trying to get Miguel home.
Oh man. I just feel like somehow, because even if they do that, if Robbie decides to help his dad out with Miguel, I feel like Miguel will get pissed.
Yep.
Because now he's gonna go find his dad who doesn't know about him.
Yep.
And now he's gonna
he can't connect with Johnny again because Robbie's right there already.
Mhm. Either get jealous or get hateful, get spiteful to Robbie.
Does Miguel come back and join Cobra Kai?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I hope no. I don't know. Maybe, but I
Just
think
'cause
Cobra
he's so
Kai.
mad at Johnny for being connected now with Robbie again. He's so mad that he goes and joins Cobra Kai. He's mad at his
Hey,
dad rejecting him. He's mad at his mom for never letting his dad know about him. And he's mad at Johnny for now connecting with Robbie. And he's mad at Sam for being an asshole because she's Sam. It just takes all that hate, and this great kid, this unbelievable kid who's probably the best at an entire show, just like Daniel did, goes to Cobra Kai. Daniel did the same thing.
yeah,
That's what
but
House
theirs
Silver
was flipped though, because he started Cobra Kai
and
and then he went to Miyagi.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean, they did have that one little speech where was it Johnny and Miguel, and he told him, he goes, I'm on your team. He's like, like I'm always gonna be with you, I'm gonna be in your corner, kind of thing. you know, but also followed by like, you got to go out there, you got to win. You know, meanwhile, like, you know, he messed up his back, which I think my girlfriend laughed at me because he was up and he was like spinning, like, you know, like very silly, you know, and then he like falls, and I legit like gasp. I'm like, oh no. Because I completely forgot about his back. I'm like, oh shit, his back messed up, and
Remember,
oh
he couldn't
man, I'm
walk,
sure.
and he had to teach him how to walk and do all these things, and
Yeah,
uh,
you forgot about that. But yeah, yeah. It was like that's how invested I am in this show that I'm like gasping when when he falls down. But it's just it's good character development, honestly, man. The creators, they they really care about their their work, you know, and they're taking care of
and
the
they're
old guys
bridging
and the new guys.
the gap, and they're making, and the storylines aren't just like, they're not reusing the same storyline. It's more messy than that. I mean, even as much as I
Mhm.
don't like Sam, I gotta say they did a good job with having Johnny be the one that really connects with her the most. You know, she's Daniel's daughter, this prized pupil, but Johnny's the one that connects with her and helps her, relate to things.
Yeah.
But even with that, they didn't let her just beat Tori. No, Tori, her entire life has been, pain and torture and having to, you know,
Fighting.
fight through. And Tori won, even though, did she really?
Hmm.
Did she
Yeah.
really?
Ter- Terry Silver was such a surprise character. Like I'm not surprised that he's there, but surprised of his whole arc of the show was, you know,
You
at
keep on
the
saying
end when he
is the bad guy, but I
yeah,
always thought that he was the bad guy, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't the bad guy. It was always Terry.
maybe I
And
don't- it's the whole ending of the last episode of him paying off the refs, you know, so you're like, oh shit, you know, is where's Tori gonna go? You know, like her last little salvation, you know, was with Kreese. You know, like he looked out for her enough to where she didn't have to like live in the streets and stuff like that. Um, but like he's like, well, um, you know, and so Cobra Kai is screwed because now Terry's in charge. You know, like, did
and
you actually win?
they're expanding to all these places, and they're going to be screwing all type of kids all over the place. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's the best place to be a child therapist. Like
And then
all the therapy all those kids are gonna need.
what? Um, what's the name? Amanda Larusso,
Mm,
Daniel's wife, whatever. Uh, did she connect enough with Tori?
I think so.
Even before the match, she didn't tell Tori to go easy on my daughter. He just said, "Let's squash this here. Let this be it." And
Mhm.
I appreciated that she didn't just say, "Let my daughter. I did this for you. Let my daughter win." No, she didn't do that. She said,
Don't cheat.
Just don't
Uh,
cheat, and let's end this here."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think out of the three of them, the mom, Tori, and Sam, Tori and the mom are on the same page. They're like, all right, but Sam, you know,
But
uh, uh,
it's also because you never forget who you were. And I think the mom or whatever, Amanda, whatever, she is what Tori is now, or she was what Tori is
was
now, and she understands where she's coming from, and she's done all those type of things and been at the bottom, and understands where she's coming from.
Mhm.
And does that mean Tori comes to Sam after finding out, you know, Kreese? I mean, Kreese is gone. She can't stay with Terry. Does she go to Sam to save
Yeah,
him? You're right. Do they come together? Do the worst enemies come together?
yeah. I think that's I think ultimately that's what's going to happen is everybody is going to team up against whoever the big bad is, whether it be Terry or Kreese or whatever. Because they're making Cobra Kai bigger and badder, so
But
all the main characters are going to have to team up.
the problem with everything, I thought I knew what season 5 was going to be, but the fact that Daniel went to Chosen, let's describe that scene and asked him for help. He's the one he's going to partner with. Just kind of threw a wrench in everything, especially knowing that Johnny's going to be gone in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen and what's going to happen? And does, once again, Daniel being stupid, let Chosen do some things, and then eventually Johnny wises up, wisen up, well, gets wise to the whole thing, and then kicks him out, and then Chosen teams up with Silver, with Terry.
Oh my God. Can you
What
imagine?
what would that be?
Yeah. Just combine all the bad guys from 2 and 3. Yeah.
And then
Wow.
Kreese gets out of jail because they find out, that he really didn't do what they said he did. And
Yeah, that's
I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah. I really don't know. Like I always assume I'm like, oh, Johnny's gonna take back over Cobra Kai and they're gonna learn, like Miyagi and Cobra Kai are gonna learn how to live together,
Yeah.
like in harmony, like a yin and a yang kind of thing.
Yeah, with respect.
But
Exactly.
now I was like, Kreese is in the picture, Terry Silver's in the picture, Chosen's in the picture. I was like, I really don't know what's gonna happen with Cobra Kai and who's gonna lead that thing. Like, are they gonna kill it? Are they gonna like save it?
I
I
think
don't
Cobra
know.
Kai is so big, and
That
Eagle
it
Fame
implodes.
it's gone because they can't. They lost technically, and Miyagi Do can't really function the same way. I don't know where they're gonna go. This season 5 is gonna be interesting, and
It is.
I appreciate them giving us layers of this whole thing, layers of the season. I don't want to talk too much about it because I didn't want to go to each episode, what they did in each episode, but as a whole for this season, they did a great job and they gave us so much information, and it's
Mhm.
going to be great to see what happens in season 5. That's already been taped, and they need to just go ahead and throw it out to us. I'm done. I can't. I'm not
I
gonna
know.
wait till. If it don't come to 2023, we're gonna have problems. It's gonna be a riot. What
Yeah,
do you
let's finish this one up with Cobra
say?
Kai.
Cobra Kai, this now later. It's not even. You can't, no, it's a now and forever. You need to be Cobra Kai forever. This is it. Cobra Kai is the baddest name the for anything ever. It's the best name ever, and they are maintaining it. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whenever you look at these reboots, like, or requels now, I think Scream created a new word called requel, where it's a reboot sequel kind of thing. No one has done it as good as Cobra Kai. The prequel Star Wars didn't land well. I didn't really care for the Scream requel.
Yep.
It's so hard to take new people and old people and make a good coherent story, and they're doing it flawlessly, where they're getting the new guys and they have all their problems that are intertwined with the old guys, but also the old guys have their problems that are connected with the previous stuff, and they're making more sense of stuff from the past. It's I don't say perfect, but it's damn near perfect
Really,
when you can take something old and new and blend it so well together.
what they are going to do is we now know how Johnny and Kreese is almost as deep as Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. I know that's
Yeah.
blasphemous for me to even say that,
It's
but it's almost there. Like that's how much Kreese loves Johnny. That's how
yeah.
much.
They just showed it in a different way.
Yeah.
for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi had centuries of
Ancient Japan.
Japan behind him. Like they understand. He understood everything, and how to
Yeah.
train. And I don't know. It's important. It's important that they are able to make it funny and childish and bring it back into a realer one. And I think season 5 is going to do that. It's going to pull
Yeah.
everyone back in.
Yeah.
And I think
William Zabka.
Johnny might save Daniel.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that off screen the other day. I think so too. That it seems like that's where it's going to go, but also like I always have ideas for where the show's going to go, and it always takes me in a different route, like that I didn't even think was going to happen, and I loved it. So, but William Zabka, the guy who plays Johnny, said season 5 was his favorite season.
Which is
He thought this
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That would blow my mind because I don't know. Season 4 was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't get the fanfare they really deserved, but season 4 is great. But I mean, it has to end sometime because Ralph Macchio is the same age as my dad. He's 60. Like the
Well, also,
baby face assassin is 60 years old.
Also, you kind of put a expiration date when your stars are supposed to be high schoolers. I mean, how long are they going to stay in high school?
Hey,
You know?
this was junior prom. It was junior prom.
Yeah.
So they're going to be seniors.
Yeah. I mean, you can get a good 3 more seasons, maybe.
But
Because you have the summer.
he's going into Katie and Anthony are going into freshman year now. They're no longer 8th graders, and Kenny's a badass. He's going to be the badass. He's going to be everything.
Yeah. He's going to be the high school quarterback kind of guy.
He's going to run Cobra Kai. I mean, he's going to be the quarterback. He's going to be the point guard. He's going to be everything. And Anthony's going to be sitting there. LaRusso's going to be like, "Oh, I wanted her to be my girlfriend." That's what's going to happen.
He's going to go back to playing video games.
No, he's going to be Daniel and him going to reconnect.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. After Chosen F's everything up, they're going to reconnect.
But yeah, man. Yeah, we've been going on for a while with this one.
Yeah, I knew it was
I'm there with you. Yeah, it's not only a now. It should have been like a now. What? 2 weeks ago. At this point.
It needs to be like flat. Like, what you been doing?
Yeah, you go back in time on to December 31st on New Year's and watch Cobra Kai. But
Slap yourself, enjoy it again.
Yeah, it's really fun. I wind up watching the last 2 episodes again because I really enjoyed the tournament.
So good. I mean, Sneaky's so good. Like Eli is so good. Robbie is so good. Tori is so good. I almost don't hate Sam. It's so good. Like that's how good this stuff is. I mean,